Time to go over the latest Holy Fuck album, or as my friend Seymour goes, Holy Fuck! That was a little bit too high.
It was a little too high. Try it again.
Holy fuck! And I can't do it anymore. I'm just not in the mood. Yeah. I guess I'm just not mentally in that place. I'm not in the Seymour mindset right now. But
you deleted that part of your
brain,
out, yeah.
Maybe for the better. Time to go over the latest Holy Fuck album, The Leader. Holy Fuck is a Toronto electronica / electronic rock band.
Can I say one thing?
What?
Here, real quick. I, before this album, had never heard anything from this band at all. Part of that was on purpose. I knew of the band. I had heard the name before. And I'm going to say this. Their name is bad. It doesn't work for them. Because I am of the firm belief that your name needs to, in some aspect, reflect your music. And there are some really good examples of that. Crass, great band, very vulgar, in-your-face punk. Crass is a good fit for them. Anal word I'm not going to say. It's just a vulgar, horrific, in-your-face, disgusting band. Their name fits. When I saw the name Holy Fuck, everything I thought of was oh, okay. They're one of those shitty pop punk bands who thinks they're edgy and cool.
That does sound like that type of band.
And so I refused to listen to them. And then you told me I was going to review them, and I kind of hated you for it. And then I was oh, that's not what they are at all. So they just need a better, more fitting name.
I don't know. I like their name, but I understand your opinion. That does sound like a pop punk name. Thinking about it in that context. Holy Funk is currently consisting of...
Holy Funk. That's a good name.
Did I say Holy Funk?
You said Holy Funk.
I should have.
That's a good name. That's a decent name. That actually is semi-fitting for them because there's some funky moments on this album.
Currently consisting of Brian Borchert. I don't know how to say it. Borgert. Let's say that. And Graham Wash on keyboards and effects, Matt Punchy McQuaid on bass, and Matt Scholes on drums. I'm mostly familiar from an album I received back, and I'm going to say this again, I can't believe I'm saying this twice in 1 week. My radio, what was I? I was the music director. That was my role. I completely forgot about it for a second. But this is one of the albums that was sent my way, and I enjoyed it at the time. It was very bassy, heavy, thick, distorted. And it kind of just fell out of my memory. I remember really enjoying the track House of Glass, and I just completely forgot about this act until I saw, they put out a new album, and I was really interested in going into it. This album is, in a sense, different from what I remember their last album being, because it's way more calming.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, saying my memory.
Yeah.
It's way more, not calming. Calming is probably, it's not like an ambient techno album.
There's an atmosphere to it.
There's a more chilling, breezy... how else? It's a very good album to run to. That's what I was telling Trevor. I just think it would make a killer album to run to because I think it really progresses well. All these tracks have this nice, almost, I don't want to say wholesome, but they have this nice, just progression of just ideas, scope, just some easy electronica. Nothing on this is completely innovative.
No.
I get influences, or not influences, but I get shades of Chemical Brothers, especially their last two albums, not their big beat area albums, but especially No Geography. I get shades of how the percussion and synths work with each other, a more tamed down version of Battles. And I get some psych rock, contemporary psych rock influence,
some new wave.
Yeah, but
some influence.
I get some contemporary psych rock influence like Tame Impala and Pond. And it's not surprised that Nicholas Albrook of Pond's on here. I listened to this and I was pretty surprised because I think for the runtime, these ideas are very simple. Mm-hmm. There's nothing completely new on here, but I think they work really well. There's some switch ups later on. They get into San Sebastian. They get into more krautrock territory, which I thought was really cool.
That's probably my favorite track.
I think the outro Ruby is the best example of how the progression and the movement of the track feels like you're running. It's that steady progression and that steady speed and chase. I love that moment. It reminds me a lot of that Wahada track Running, which is the perfect example of another track that's great to run to because it's that amazing progression and just the movement and the feel of the track. I think is epic, and this has the same vibe. There's some vocals on here. That's probably my biggest problem with this album. So the album has a lot of vocals at times, but they're not. I'm
really highlighted. They're pretty low in the
they're
mix.
lo-fi in the mix. They're lo-fi on their own, and then they're also kind of buried in the mix. And these have some features, so they advertise features, but they're kind of buried.
Yeah.
Like, and these are some pretty higher named, or at least knowable names, like Alexis Taylor of Hot Chips on here. Angus Andrew of Liars is on here. So they fit. I like the texture of them.
Yeah.
But I think from occasional lyric I'll hear, I think there's like an overalling theme of like trying to have a fresh start and find a purpose in it and a meaning. And I read in a review because I wanted to learn more information about this band because I couldn't find like any press releases or anything. So I checked out like a bunch of reviews and a bunch of articles about this album, and I read from which one, and I don't know which one, that this was recorded at Third Man Records, Jack White's record label. I have no idea if that's actually true. I can't validate it.
I can see it.
But it was recorded on like New Year's or something like last year. I don't know if any of that's true.
Yeah.
I take it with a huge pinch of salt. But I think the theme of this album's starting new ideas, and in my memory of their last album, it's a new style, or at least a newer aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because there are some moments that remind me a bit of their last album. I think after Moment, they get a little bit more bassier. They bring more guitars, a little bit more frantic guitars into the mix. I think the guitar chords are pretty simple across this entire thing. There's nothing too super compelling, but I like how they appear later on. They're not too present in the beginning. But yeah, the vocals on this are kind of buried in the mix, and I get ideas of themes, but like I don't know if that I can't understand them.
Yeah, they're too low in the mix. They're too not featured. They're just kind of another sound in the mix.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Like we've talked about tons of bands who do that, and that we appreciate it for. We last year we talked about Bad Breeding, where they did that, and we talked about Lightning Bolt, where like they kind of did that. That wasn't like the main issue of Lightning Bolt's music. So.
Because I like the texture they add, and it gives me that like nice psych rock feel, especially more in the second half.
Yeah.
I think the synths are really breezy. I think they bring a lot of wind atmosphere to this album. I think this thing's very chilling at times, which is nice. Very cold too, which I enjoy. I don't know. I like the progression of the ideas of sounds on this album. I like how the opening track's like 6 minutes and it feels very short to me.
Yeah.
I just like the progression. I like Alexis Taylor just completely repeating, I want to scrap all of this and start over again, kind of studying this idea. Maybe they're moving in a new progression. So I dig it. It's not, there's nothing inherently new, but it reminds me of...
This is like some great innovative album.
Yeah.
But like it's a nice, easy listen. It's good to listen to. It's not challenging in any way.
Yeah, they could be way more experimental.
Yeah. But like it's if you're wanting just a nice, chill, easy listen, it's a good album for that.
Kind of ambient, not really.
Yeah.
Because it's not ambient.
It's not ambient.
Nowhere
It's just,
even close.
It has a lot of atmosphere to it, shockingly.
It reminds me of not the Com Trues album we reviewed, but the one he put out before that. I can't remember the name of it. It's just a solid composition of a lot of fun tracks that really isn't reinventing the genre, but is having a lot of fun what it's doing.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it for that purpose, and I think I enjoyed this the same way. So keep in mind those scores are futile and meaningless. Right now I'm feeling 7+ to 8- on this. I enjoyed it.
6.5 to 7, yeah.
Okay. And that's it. I really hope Holy Fuck comes out something sooner rather than later, because I enjoyed this and I thought it was really breezy and fun.